As I was reading these texts, a couple of things came to mind. One is the parable of the talents, and the other is St. Paul, his words to, I don't know who his words were to, and in fact I'm having difficulty trying to remember the exact phrasing, but often I'd hear people say, I've been through this experience, I've had this issue in my life, thankfully I've overcome it, but I have no idea how I can, what use it is, what's the point in having gone through all this or experienced this. For myself, I was an engineer before becoming a priest, and one might think, well, engineering, that's kind of here, priesthood, something completely different. And so how do the two kind of relate? How can that be useful for the mission? But being in Aberdeen, the oil capital of Europe, it's been kind of handy because I've been able to, many people here in Aberdeen are involved with the oil business. So I've been able to talk with people, engage with people who have some sort of a business with the oil. I've been able to talk to them on their level about these things. And we see that with Cyril and Methodius, that the people who were evangelizing beforehand, they were sent and they went out to evangelize as best they knew. Cyril and Methodius, on the other hand, they were monks, so monks lived in monasteries. Cyril, a professor, so he taught, he was used to teaching, and Methodius, an abbot leading a community. And you'd say, well, how does that help them with their evangelization? They were chosen for some reason to go out and evangelize in Moravia. Why was that the case? And why didn't they just do what everybody else did? And you've got to think that actually Cyril and Methodius were people who thought outside the box. They had gifts that the Lord had given them, and they didn't put them to one side to say, well, that's useful in this sphere of life only, and so I'm now being asked to go out and evangelize, so I'll just leave these things there and I'll go and do the evangelization things like everybody else. No, they used the gifts, the talents that the Lord had given them, and they thought laterally, how can we use our gifts to serve the mission? How can we use our academic ability, our gift for language, to serve the mission? Nobody else was doing it. They did something that was completely different, and the Lord used them. And I guess for us today, it's, whatever the gifts we have, we might not think them useful, we might not think them helpful, we might think them a waste of time. If we offer them to the Lord, if we hand them over to Him, He is able to use them, transform them, and use them in ways we could never imagine. Who would have thought? Nobody else was inventing a new alphabet. No one. Nobody was deciding to celebrate the liturgy in the vernacular at that time with this. Nobody was thinking that. And yet they offered what they had to the Lord, and it used them to transform a whole culture, a whole society. So in the same way as we come to Mass today, let us give ourselves, everything that we have, every experience that we have, good and bad, giving it over to the Lord that He might use it for His glory and the good of His people.